Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Chris, and I'm your dad next door. Today's video is going to be a follow-up review from our MXL 990 that was released a couple of weeks ago. The intention of this video today is going to be to do a comparison between the MXL 990 and this Samson Q2U. Typically, these videos, I would do the microphones side by side in the comparison, but when I attempted to hook up this Q2U using the 48 volt phantom power, it gave a nasty hiss, and I'm quite surprised. There's a lot of times in these dynamic microphones that you don't find that hiss, but for some reason this one's giving it to me, and I'm going to assume that it has something to do with the circuitry in the USB. No real answer I can give you there. It works perfectly fine with no phantom power applied. So we're going to be doing the test today. I'm going to do them all with the MXL 990, and I will come back and do a second version with the Samson Q2U, and then I will cut them and put them side by side. Before we get started, I do just want to say that thank you for the comments that I got on the review of the MXL 990 when I compared it to the AT 2015. Based on that, and one of the main reviews that I got right here in this window, I am doing this additional review with the Samson Q2U, and based on his comments, he wanted to see how this dynamic compared to the 990. So since I've already done a full review on the Q2U and a full review on this 990, we're just going to do a few small tests today and show you the differences between the two. So we'll be looking at noise floor. We'll be looking at what I am going to call off-axis ambient intrusion. That's the way I'm wording that. Basically, the amount of noise that comes in from a distance when it's off axis to the microphone. And then we will be doing a proximity effect test. If you're new to the channel, I just want to let you know that I also stream on Twitch Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, typically in the evenings, and I answer microphone questions, tech questions, overlay design questions, things like that for new content creators or some advanced that are trying to look to improve their content. If you have any questions for me or anything like that, please feel free to come in, ask questions while I'm live in chat. Links to all of my social profiles are in the description of the video. So for our proximity test here today, I'm just getting nice and close to this microphone. I'm sitting about an inch away, and I actually have a little something in my throat today, so it's going to kind of sound a little interesting. What we're trying to do here is just determine the amount of boom or gain in the audio that you get when you get really close to the microphone. I'm telling you, my mustache is basically touching the front side of this. I'm getting a lot of sibilance in my headphones, and I'm getting a lot of extra highs that I don't really like when you get like this, and this is one of the reasons you don't get up super close to these guys. But I just want to kind of show you what the difference is between it and this Q2U when I have it hooked up, and kind of show you what exactly the proximity effect can be. One of the main benefits of proximity effect for these condenser microphones is that you can talk off axis and still keep a lot of your audio sound. So what I'm doing here is I'm actually talking, you can clearly see that I'm not talking directly into the microphone. You just kind of take a half an inch, quarter of an inch back, and you can talk at a 45-degree angle to the microphone and be able to continue to get the majority of your sound without having pops or plosives basically in there. I can do like Peter, Paul, pick a, you get a small plosive amount, but it's not overly aggressive. That is the one main benefactor that I can see in a proximity environment for condenser microphones. So here we go with our first. This is going to be my proximity test. I am really close to this thing. I'm basically, same thing, mustache is touching the top of it. You're going to notice, though, it's going to get really muddy. The one thing I don't like about some of these dynamics, or at least some of these cheaper, lower-end, entry-level dynamics, is when you get up close to them like this, they just mud out, and they don't sound clean. They don't sound clear. You have to do a lot of equalization to make these things sound good. So that's going to be your loss there. And also, as I showed with the MXL, the off-axis discussion to try to avoid plosives, which I'm trying really hard to do at this distance, is really hard. As soon as you talk off angle, you lose a big portion of your audio because you're too close. You would almost have to put yourself at a 45 in between the microphone, and then you're eliminating the need for the plosive rejection test anyways, or the plosive support, I should say. So there is your proximity test, and that's about all you're going to get out of that. So let's see what the next one sounds like. This next test that I'm going to be doing is going to be our noise floor test. What I will do here is I'll just be quiet for about 10 to 15 seconds, and then I'll repeat the process for the Samson Q2U. There may be some boost applied. I will provide it in the description somewhere in the video window here. And there you go. There's a noise floor. I'm going to, like I said, I don't typically hear anything in my headphones. I hear a little bit of a hum. I have a fan, my PC fans and things like that I can hear, but there's not a whole lot of static or hiss or anything from these microphones usually. So I will more than likely be boosting that. And again, pay attention for that description. So now we have our noise floor test. So I'm just going to be quiet and let you guys figure out what this sounds like. And I hope that worked for you. Again, I don't hear anything in here, but I will boost in post. And the last test that I'm performing here today is a, what did I call it? A audio off-axis intrusion, off-axis ambiance intrusion. There you go. That's what I'm going to call it. And basically, I have my phone there. It's about 4 feet away from the microphone, and I just want you to see that even at a 90-degree angle from the microphone, you can see my phone kind of in the back side of the backside of the window there. It's on that little table. Even 4 feet away from the microphone, at an off-axis angle, you're still going to pick up a lot of audio from that, and it's going to kind of not overcome my audio, right? Because it's obviously not louder than me at this distance, but you're definitely going to be able to hear it. So we will perform the exact same track. I'll start it over when I hook up this Q2U so you can tell the difference between those. And our last test is the what have I been calling it? The off-axis ambience intrusion test, to hear how much of the sound the microphone picks up from an off-axis position at a distance. So we're looking at the phone. You can clearly see it much better than you could with the MXL, but you can see the phone on the table back there. It's about 4 to 5 feet away, and it is playing at the same exact volume the MXL was. So I don't know what the sound difference is. We'll listen to it in post and figure it out, but that is the result that I think you guys were looking for. Let me comment and say, in the event that you have a noisy environment, I think having something like a dynamic such as this could help, although you're not going to end up with a very, very good sense of hiding if you're talking at the same time as the audio, because the microphone is still being activated and picking up. One thing you might, and I didn't test, I should have, would be the off-axis ambiance during a silent scene. That would have been something to test, and I might do that now after my post. We'll see. So this is going to be your bonus test right now, real fast. What I decided to do is I decided to come back and do this off-axis sound real fast with me being quiet to try to see how much of the off-axis noise that the Samson and the MXL pick up. So let's do this. I'm doing the Samson first, and then we'll come back and do the MXL. Okay, now let's switch over to the MXL and restart that track and see how that sounds. So we've switched back over and we're just trying to determine how much of this audio, this off-axis MXL is going to pick up as a condenser versus the dynamic Q2U. And now we are done with our video. I've done the post-processing listening, and I have to say that I still really like my MXL 990. For my type of environment, I think it fits really well. I think it plays well with what I've got. The Samson Q2U can definitely have a benefit, though, if you're trying to isolate sounds in your ambiance. If you're trying not to pick up reverb or other things like that in the room, and you need something that can absorb or offset some of those with a better off-axis control, these dynamic microphones are definitely going to fit your bill. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your comments. Let me know how you thought this review went. If you have any additional information for me or anything that you want to ask, other reviews that you want me to do, please feel free to provide them in the comments of the video. Again, I do stream on Twitch, social links are in the description of the video. I hope you have a wonderful day. Hope you guys are staying safe. My name is Chris. I'm your dad next door. We will check you next time.